Hey.
Hey.
Ho.
Ho.
D. He's leaving. See you about that.
It was nice. Yeah, right. Can we start now?
That was our production still assistant.
Still, he's our production assistant.
By the way, great general manager.
Thank you.
Really run, not you.
Oh, okay.
Really runs this place well. All the customer service folks you get comes from Valley. Guy just snuck out. So this is a limited series for what?
July,
Do I
this
have
month.
to introduce you?
No, you haven't done it yet. You haven't done it so far today.
I was gonna, then you interrupted me.
Well, I was going to interrupt.
Did you say something?
No.
Easy for you to say. This is the limited series for July 2011, and this is Ed Maciana. Did you know he wrote a book? Yes. Shortcuts on Wine.
Yeah.
And that's his voice when you hear him on hold at the wine.
You know how difficult it is to be here 8 hours a day reciting this stuff when you guys call and get put on hold? You know, I mean, think about the conviction that I have to the Wine of the Month Club.
We built you a really nice sound booth. You just sit there and you just talk the whole time.
I just talk the whole time. As a matter of fact, because I'm doing this, if you were to call right now, you wouldn't get the sound on.
That's right, with the music.
Yeah.
Don't try that.
No. This
blows me away.
Really?
Yes, I love this
This
one.
wine's delicious. It's very, very good. They've been talking for years. I don't know who they are, but they have been talking about Pinot Noir from New Zealand. It makes sense because it's cool climate, and yet where it is, in terms of the latitude, it should be a lot warmer. It's just that there's two islands and they're surrounded by water, so it helps to keep the temperature rather temperate. And they're making some unbelievable Pinot Noirs now.
This is so good. I had to buy it. And the thing that very distressing was it landed here, but it had taken like 3 days to get here from Northern California.
Mm-hmm. 3 days? What did it do, walk?
Yeah, almost. So that means it got loaded on one truck to the other, and before it came out the truck, I said, we were tasting that one. It's been hot outside.
Oh, yeah.
I go, I'm not buying a heat damaged wine, but it was so good. I go, oh, my God, I'm so happy.
Delicious wine. Absolutely delicious. It's got the rose petals. It's got a little moxie to it. It's a little darker than most Pinot Noirs, which puts me off. Pinot Noir is a very thin-skinned grape, and all of the color from the wine comes from the skin. So if you get a dark Pinot Noir, that means that they had to do something to manipulate it to get that kind of color. And this is right on the cusp. It's light, and yet it's got great flavor.
It's so feminine. It's got such subtle flavors and such subtle character.
Delicious wine.
That I just...
And it's so interesting because it's not California.
No.
I mean, matter of fact, you're not even sure what it is when you smell it.
You can't tell it's New Zealand.
Well, we don't know enough about New Zealand yet to actually pinpoint them. If I were guessing, I would guess it was Oregon. And I've heard that a lot of people that have more experience with these wines have said, gosh, they're dead ringers for Oregon Pinot.
Yeah,
they're just more consistent vintages.
Just so happy. And we did the Sauvignon Blanc, which was really good too. Just very fortunate to have the brand here.
This is great.
I'm giving this a 95.
This 95?
Yeah.
That's good. I'll give it a 96. $25 on the shelf, which is a great buy for Pinot Noir in today's world. $17.99 on the reorder price, which is unheard of for Pinot Noir.
Just compare it. Just try and compare it to a $17 California Chardonnay Pinot Noir right now.
Don't be ragging on California that much.
It's not indicative of California. It's just this is a great value.
It's a great value.
It's
a great value, and we're gonna taste another great value as soon as you put your hand on the right bottle.
Rock Hollow.
Rock Hollow.
Now California. If you try to get a name for a winery in California or a brand, it's you can't find them because everybody's doing all kinds of things. But
you know what my theory is on names.
What?
See, in Italy, they name them either by they name them by the area, the grape, or the daughter. Okay, in California, they like to name them by the rock that sits out in front.
How do you know this one wasn't named by the daughter?
This Rock Hollow? I'm taking a wild guess here.
I like this wine because
very nice
it's
wine.
Paso. It's Paso written all over the nose. It's just that opulent, full-bodied, hot weather Cabernet. I just really fell in love with it.
Very good wine. Actually, Paso used to have a bad rap, which I gave it every chance I got. My first job in the wine business was in Paso Robles almost 30 years ago, and they were a little overdone. They were kind of hot wine. This doesn't taste as hot as they have in the past.
No,
it's been trained a little bit better.
To a flaw, but I think it's just got that extraction and it's got that depth.
Right. It's a lovely wine, and
the color.
22 bucks on the shelf, nobody'd argue. $17.99 a reorder price is killer. I mean, that's pretty serious wine. I was just up there, a few months ago, and I got to tell you, as good as the wines were, the prices were insane. They were nuts.
Well, they got you when you're up there.
What's that?
I don't think most people know when you go to a wine tasting tour, you're in a winery, even with their 10% off for a case, you are still getting paying full retail because they have you. You're just romantic. You're in the wine tasting room. The guy's talking to you. You go out, take a case of stuff. Call me. Call me.
Call them.
Write down the wines you like at the wineries, and I'll buy it for you. It'll be cheaper.
800-949-9463. Call them right now.
949 wine.
Yeah. What are we giving this? Are we just going to pass?
94.
94. I'm going to give it a 94.
Okay.
All right.
You can write the next one first.
I don't.
Okay, great. It's up to you.
Okay, now
You don't have to.
we're on to the whites. Now this is an interesting wine because it comes from Retrati up in I think they're in Trentino. They're in northeastern Italy.
Hello.
Beautiful wine. A great winery. I mean, their wines are so good. I bought that Müller Thurgau we did last year myself. That was absolutely delicious wine.
This is also Dolomites, much like the Vintner Series wine.
Yeah. No, that was actually the classic.
Classic Series, the Mezza Corona.
Yeah, isn't that what you said? Yeah.
Yes.
This is a blend of all kinds of stuff. Müller Thurgau, I think Ribolla Gialla, a few other household words, but it's a really classy blend.
How about that nose? I mean, it's just all flowers and fruit and
the
orange peel.
But it's got it in the nose. The orange peel, that's what I get in the mouth. It's just stunning. Absolutely stunning bottle of wine. What's that?
What would you serve that with?
Well, I could do this with some fairly aggressive cream sauces on shrimp or lobster. Certainly raw oysters, a fatty fish like Chilean sea bass or black cod. Ooh, black cod. It's one of the great.
I can see that. I can certainly see a cream sauce, shrimp or oyster on the pasta.
Yeah, because it would just hammer right through it. It got that acidity. It just goes like that. It's terrific.
For lunch. Oh, burgers.
$22 on the shelf, $17.99 the reorder price, and I'm going to give this a 92.
93.
Okay.
I just think this is spectacular.
Well, spectacular for 1 point. Spectacular would have been a 98, not 93. I know. Yeah. Okay.
Look at this cool label.
Cool, yeah.
La Brujo
Yeah.
Macabeo.
It's cool if you're on drugs. I mean,
What did you say? I call it Macabeo, but other ones call it Macabeo.
I've heard different pronunciations, Macabeo and Macabeo. I think it kind of depends on where you're from in Spain.
Could be.
What it is, though, is a very exotic, a very exciting grape, of which there's very little of it planted anywhere, even in Spain, which is its native country.
This is the Calatayud, which is
Catalonia. Yeah, northeast.
northeast. Above and to the right of Rioja.
Oh, wow. This is a little richer than the last one we had, but...
Boy, the mid palate. You can get it in the color, right? Wouldn't you suspect that when you look at that color?
Well, I would expect it to be a little old tasting, but it's not because. But that's the nature of the grape. The grape's got a lot of color of its own, so it's not going to be real white. And because usually when a wine starts to get dark like that, it's been oxidation and it's starting to go over the hill. But this wine's is phenomenal,
Fresh as ever and full body.
beautiful. So yeah, I would love. You could have this with veal or chicken
Oh, you
too.
could have veal, yes. Wow.
And schnitzel, or sausages and peppers. Oh God.
You know what we're having for lunch again?
Hamburgers.
Burgers and sweet potato fries.
$21 on the shelf. $13.99 is the reorder price, and I'm giving this a 94.
I'll match that 94.
With
94. With
and that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is limited series for July of 2011. God, just when you thought it couldn't get any later.